Welcome to Medical Updates, and this is Dr. Milani. Today we'll talk about adult ADD. In general, there are a number of people that always approach me on a weekly basis in the office asking for management of ADD. They're complaining that they're graduate students and they're kind of stuck in their graduate work or in their thesis and they can't take projects to completion. Some other people are basically college students that are unable to finish courses, and they're also kind of adults that are more senior, like in their 30s and 40s and 50s, who have hit basically an impasse and they really cannot get projects done. Like they can't get their taxes done, they can't get papers in, they cannot get work projects finished. And the approach to this population is different than the ADD that is managed in terms of a child with hyperactivity or a child with attention deficit in school. So in general, given the pervasive nature of social media, most people's attention spans are shortened. Most of those skills that people need to be able to take significant task solving, resolving issues to a project and to take a project through its stages planned has basically become somewhat weakened just because people have been out of touch with that thing. When you can tweet 140 characters and get it out in a couple of seconds, well, that's kind of really then the attention span that is different than the attention span for a significant project at work, whether in the government or in the private sector. Obviously, those are very different things. And so people have lost some of their ability to maintain focus and attention on tasks. So the way I approach these patients is that the first thing I do is I figure out if there is anything medical wrong with them. Is there vitamin B12 deficiency? Is there vitamin D deficiency? Is there a thyroid problem? Or is there basically a carbon monoxide issue? Something that's basically impeding the patient's ability to take these tasks to completion and to finish them. Once that's established, then I do a screen to see if there is any kind of ADD, and there are a number of screeners out there for this purpose with really favorable and very useful false positive and false negative amounts are pretty low, and so that is a very helpful way of coming to the correct diagnosis. Then what I like to do with the patients is I like to focus on their study habits, and basically I do give people assignments. For example, patients that want to do a project, want to study a book or study a chapter, then I give them 1 hour increments, 1 hour blocks of time, and basically I take them through a study period. The first 5 minutes of the hour, I teach the patients to focus and to basically get a gestalt, get a bird's eye view of the material, looking at what's bold, looking at what's on the topics, the titles, the highlighted stuff, and graphs. And after that 5 minutes is done, then a 35-minute period of a very intense, highly focused study begins. During this period of studying, the patient learns to take notes, highlight things, and to basically get their detailed studying out. And then there's a period of 5 to 10 minutes that is used for the review of the material. Again, you review your notes, the highlighted sections, the graphs, the charts, and the areas that you yourself have decided that these are important and you have highlighted. And so basically the chapter is done, and then people can take a 10-minute break, walk around and do something else, get some water, go to the bathroom, and basically do something else. Then the mind is refreshed. The material that's really important has been examined 3 times. 1 time through the bird's eye view study, the 2nd time through the very focused 35-minute period of study, and a 3rd time actually through the very focused review of the highly pertinent high yield material. Then when that's done, the patient takes a break, and that allows the retention in the brain of the material, and then they could go on and proceed with a 2nd period of study. So this way, material is basically redundantly studied, and the important things are basically done more than one time. The last thing I want to say on this point is that exercise also does have a significant role in the non-medical management. Again, in the non-medical management of adult ADD, and in general, people that exercise are stronger in terms of their short-term and long-term memory and ability to take these tasks to completion. Once these issues are resolved, and there is then basically still a need for any kind of additional training or additional issues, then basically people can be given medications. There are a number of medications on the market that are FDA approved and extremely useful for treatment of adult ADD. But the basis of the treatment of adult ADD has to be to management of the medical issues that are underlying that, primarily and secondarily through some adjustments to people's study habits, and at that level then people can really have excellent outcomes. We hope you enjoyed this segment of Virginia Medical Updates, and please feel free to contact me at 703-383-4836, and you can always email me at virginiamedicalupdates@gmail.com. Please don't forget to like and share our videos on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.